Today we're reviewing some of the best budget-friendly artificial Christmas trees available on Amazon.com. These trees are all priced under $80 and have free returns. These Christmas trees all measure 6 feet and under, and their price range is capped between $40 through $80. So join me as we review these awesome budget-friendly Christmas trees. First on our list of this budget Christmas tree review is this 6-foot tall Christmas tree. It's a hinge spruce tree that is unlit from the brand Lihiyi, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing them. We're going to see a little bit closer detail on what this tree looks like. So I was actually very surprised with this tree because of the inexpensive price. It actually has two different types of branches. We have the plasticky, shiny, Christmas tree branch that is soft, and then we have the one that is more like garland. It's a little bit prickly, and it has these garland type of pine needles, but I think the two different types of branches gives it a very beautiful and realistic look. I was actually very blown away with it. It is very small and compact. Even though it is listed as a 6-foot tall tree, it is much slimmer than a regular Christmas tree that you would imagine, and I think it almost feels like it's shorter than 6 feet. But if you're into a compact tree that is very beautiful, I think this would be the tree for you. I did take about 30 minutes to make sure all the branches were put out, so you need to spend the time. A lot of people just want to rush through it, but you need to spend at minimum 30 minutes making sure all the branches are out, making sure everything is fluffed out nicely. But for the price, I think this is a great tree. Here we have this 6-foot tall, pre-decorated, unlit Christmas tree from the company Best Choice Product. This tree comes with frosted tips, and it comes with these cute pine cones that are located throughout the tree. It is a very festive tree, and I think it looks really full and great for the price. This tree, I think, looks like some other ones that have the green typical garland type of branches. But with the frosted tips, it's a nice little touch that I think makes it really festive. Next, for our one and only 4-foot tree, we have this Green Valley Spruce from the National Tree Company. Now, I was also very surprised with this one because it is super adorable, and once you fluff it out, it is a super cute tree to put on a table or by your front door or in a room that you just want a small tree. This is absolutely adorable. I really love the texture of the tree. Again, this tree was made very well. Even though this material is the same type you'd find in garland, I think this one feels like it's premium, if there was such a thing as premium garland versus regular garland. And it has two different types of leaves. It almost feels like it has two different types of pine needles. But in fact, the only reason that it feels that way is because it has long needles and then short needles and a few different ones in between. It's a very nice tree for the price. It's 4 feet tall, super compact. This is such a great little find if you want a 4-foot tall tree. Next on our list is this 6-foot tall North Valley Spruce from the National Tree Company. This tree is also unlit. The National Tree Company has been coming out with winter after winter. This is another beautiful tree from the National Tree Company. It is compact. So you have to remember that these less expensive trees are a little bit slimmer. They're not as tall, even though they're rated as 6 feet tall. But the branches are really pretty. Once you fluff them all out, I love the two-tone texture of the leaves. It is a great find, a good tree for a small compact space, or if you just don't want a big giant tree. This is a very beautiful tree. The branches are not hinged. So this is very important because these branches are this thick metal wire on the inside that you have to position them in whatever position you want so they don't plop down normally. But then as you go lower into the tree, you have hinges right here. So the top half is non-hinged, the bottom half is hinged, which I'm not sure why they did it like that, but hey, it's still a beautiful tree. I absolutely love it. Next on our list is this 6-foot tall Kingswood fir tree from the National Tree Company. This tree is unlit and it's considered a slim tree. As with our previous trees from the National Tree Company, they seem to have the same type of pine needles and branch shape and size. Very pretty. I love the color. It is a very slim tree. Now this is a extremely slim tree. Look at that. These are my two hands placed together and it's almost the width of both of them. So it's made for a corner or an apartment or a condo where you want a low profile tree. It is rated as 6 foot tall, but again, these trees don't look like they're 6 feet tall to the eye. They look like they're a little bit shorter. But nonetheless, this is a great tree for a small space or an area that you just want to spruce up. Next, we have this 6 foot tall Prex-Tex Christmas tree. Now, this Christmas tree is unlit and it has hinged branches. So this Christmas tree is different than the ones we've reviewed because the branches are on the cheaper side. I really don't like how this one is set up because this one looks like your typical very cheap Christmas tree. The color seems a little bit off. It seems too green, and all the branches are this type of cheap garland feel to it. I'm not a fan of this, but this is a great tree if you're looking for something in this particular color, or if you want to upgrade it. You can upgrade these types of trees by wrapping the inside with garland, with really nice garland, making it nice and full, and then decorating it with ornaments. I always feel that ornaments make or break a tree. So it's not that I hate the tree, but the trees I've seen before in this review, I think are much nicer, much better bang for your buck. And this one was a little bit complicated to spruce out all the branches. It took me almost 40 minutes and still I feel I need to bring out the branches a little bit more. So it's not that it's horrible, just I think that there are better options out there. Next is this 6.5 foot tall Kingswood fir tree that is unlit, and it's from the company National Tree Company. A few trees before, we reviewed its younger brother, which was the 6 foot tall version. This one is just 6.5 feet tall, so same as the other one, just a little bit taller. Beautiful colored branches, really pretty, very slim. Remember, this is very slim and compact. It's 6.5 feet tall, but it looks a little bit shorter than that. But this is great for a corner or a small space or a room where you just don't want a big tree. Overall, a very nice compact tree. Here we have a 6.5 foot tall North Valley spruce tree from the National Tree Company. This tree is unlit. This is another compact tree from the National Tree Company, and they have just been winning it this time. I love the branches, I love the color, I love the two-tone nature of it all. It does take a while in order to get the full effect. So I think the main complaint I've seen online about this one is that it doesn't look full enough. But I think it's because we didn't spend enough time fluffing it out. It does take a while. This took almost 30 minutes of fluffing out the branches, making sure they're all open, that none of them are bent. And once you get it done, I think it's a really nice compact tree. This tree is again considered a slim build tree. So it's not going to be nice and wide or nice and tall, but it is 6.5 feet tall, and I think it's a great addition. So we have this 6-foot tall Myrrh Christmas tree that is unlit. So this one is interesting because from afar it looks like it's two different types of leaves, but it's actually just one. It has smaller garland and then larger garland. So it makes it seem like there's two different types of pine needles going on, which I think is really cool because otherwise it feels a little bit on the cheap side. But again, we can spruce up these trees by putting garland on the inside or putting awesome ornaments on it. Overall, it's not a bad shape for a tree. As with all of these trees, they are a little bit slimmer. This isn't a slim tree like we've seen some of these slim pencil trees, but this one is definitely not as bulky as a regular tree, and it actually doesn't look bad. It took a while to fluff up the leaves, but overall, it's not a bad tree if you dress it up right and maybe thicken it with some added garland in the middle. Next, we have this 6-foot tall spruce Christmas tree from the company BHG. This tree is unlit, but it's pre-decorated. What I really love about this tree is the color and how full it actually looks. I was surprised when I put it all together and fluffed out all the branches, how good it looks from the side. It's really full. The color is very deep and rich, and I really love these pine cones that were added to this tree. It's an overall great looking tree for the price. Of course, remember, these budget trees are a little bit slender on the sides and they don't look as big as a regular Christmas tree, but it's an amazing tree for the price. Beautiful color. I think overall this is a great find. Here we have a 6-foot tall spruce Christmas tree from the company BHG, and it is unlit but pre-decorated. This tree is another beautiful tree if you're into the pre-decorated, pre-frosted look. I really love the deep color. I think the frosted tips are so cute, and it has pine cones, it has these berries. It is very full. I absolutely love that about it. Another tree that's really full, but you got to put the time into it. This one took about 40 minutes of making sure all the branches were fluffed out. The only thing that this tree I didn't really like about it is how it moves. I don't know if it's just a defective base, but the tree does move quite a bit, unlike the other ones. It's not toppling over. I just wanted you to be aware that maybe it's just this tree, maybe it was defective, but this one does move quite a bit. But it's not going to go anywhere. It's a great tree for a great price. Last but certainly not least is this 6-foot tall unlit Christmas tree from the Christopher store. So online it says this tree has 1,000 tips, and it really does seem like it does. It is very full once you fluff out all of the branches. I do love that it has sort of a two-tone color to the branches. I love that you can see the brownish, yellowish little stem on the inside. I think that it's a great color, a great look. It was a little bit of a mission to unfluff all of it. I still feel like it needs a lot more work to get it to its prime, but overall it's a good looking tree for a great price.